In an ABC 17 Storm Track weather alert, some parts of mid-Missouri are under winter weather advisories right now with the possibility of freezing rains. Let's get right over to ABC 17 Storm Track meteorologist Brittany Beggs for what you can expect as you head out the door this morning. Brittany.
Ashley, most areas are seeing light rainfall right now, but east of 63, temperatures are dipping to the low 30s, around 32 degrees. That's where we're seeing a little bit of that pink, a little bit of that wintry mix across our counties of Callaway, Gasconade, Audrain County, and across Montgomery County. So let's get roads that haven't been treated. This freezing rain could again reach the ground, and it could cause some issues for the morning commute. As I zoom out, there's a little bit of a break in this rainfall, but it looks like rain isn't going to be tapering off until about noon today. So folks need to be taking it easy, as Jordana Marie has been mentioning this morning. In my first forecast at 5:37, I'll show you what time I expect these showers to move out today, plus the changes that are on the way for Thursday. That's coming up here in a few minutes. Ashley.
All right, thanks so much, Brittany. Breaking news right now. We are working to get more details about a vehicle collision in North Boone County. What we know is it has been raining overnight, but it's still unclear whether that was a possible factor in the crash. So let's get right to ABC 17's Jordana Marie, who just got to the scene on Highway VV. You've been there for about 30 minutes, Jordana, and I know you just spoke to emergency responders.
Yes, Ashley, I did, and I was able to confirm with Boone County Sheriff's deputies that the bridge just north of where the accident happened on Highway VV is icy. They said they called MoDOT out to salt it, try to avoid any other accidents like this morning. Now, what we know happened, the truck, it was a Ford Ranger. It was driving south on Highway VV, possibly hit that icy bridge, hit the slick road conditions, rolled over into a ditch. The car was upside down. When crews got on scene, they had to cut out the driver, but thankfully the driver was still able to be talking. He was coherent with the emergency responders. They did take him to the hospital for his injuries. We haven't been able to confirm exactly what his injuries are, but he was in okay condition considering he was talking to the emergency responders. So right now, that's all the information we have. We're going to stay on scene and try to find out a little more details for you this morning. Reporting live in Boone County, Jordana Marie, ABC 17 News.
Jordana, thanks. And we're also working to get details about another crash on Highway 22 between Sturgeon and Centralia. That happened just before 4:30 this morning, and we'll, of course, update you on both situations as we get new information. Today, the last of 3 forums featuring candidates for the new University of Missouri position will happen. The candidates are vying for the office of Chief Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer for the UM system. Today's forum will be for G. Christine Taylor and will start at 9:30 at the old Alumni Center. And the forum for the 2 other candidates, Paulette Granberry Russell and Kevin McDonald, were held last week. We're hearing more from University of Missouri leaders about a new video showing a confrontation between Mizzou professor Melissa Click and police. It happened during the homecoming parade last October. Interim Chancellor Hank Foley called her behavior appalling. ABC 17 News also spoke to curator David Steelman yesterday, and he says the curators will continue to look into Click's actions. Click was suspended with pay last month for another confrontation, this one with a student reporter. A California developer is one step closer today to building a 10-story apartment complex in downtown Columbia. Now, the city council voted 6-1 to combine the lots at the corner of Locust between 9th and 10th Streets. Fields Holding in California told us they want to demolish places like Quentin's Bar and the James condominiums to build a 10-story apartment complex. Now, the owner says he plans to use the first floor for businesses, the second floor for parking, and then the upper floors for residential space. Yesterday's vote only combined the lots field once for the complex. City staff will, of course, need to approve the building plans once they get them. The Jefferson City Council is taking up action to help protect animals typically kept outside in cases of extreme weather conditions. Animal control officials say they get a lot of calls during this time of year for pets left outside in the cold. A new bill passed last night, that is, creates weather standards for pets outside in extreme cold and heat conditions. The ordinance will also enact new impound guidelines allowing workers to temporarily remove the pets from the extreme conditions even if the owners are not home. The city says it would then work with the owners to come up with a more suitable housing structure for those animals. Today, state lawmakers will consider a bill that would create a memorial highway in mid-Missouri for 2 fallen servicemen. Now, this bill would designate parts of Highway 63 as memorials for Navy Lieutenant Patrick Connor and Army Specialist Stephen Farnan. Both died in Operation Desert Storm, and a memorial for them at the Boone County Courthouse has created controversy because of the Christian symbol on the stone. Commissioners voted to move the memorial last year, though no date has been set. Another bill to be discussed at the Capitol today would designate part of Highway FF in Audrain County the Trooper James Bava Memorial Highway. Bava died in a car crash while trying to pull over a motorcyclist last year. Today, construction work on Route H in Callaway County will possibly cause some delays for drivers. The work is happening between Highway 50 and Route J, where crews are replacing a cross pipe. They start at 7:30 and should be finished by 4:30 this afternoon. Northeast of Moscow earlier today, 9 other people were injured in the blast, which destroyed 5 apartments and damaged 20 others. The cause of this explosion is still under investigation. This morning, a lot of people across the southeastern U.S. are cleaning up after severe weather, including tornadoes, moves through. A tornado in the Florida Panhandle destroyed or severely damaged about 10 homes. At one point, an elderly woman got trapped, and the neighbors had to use a chainsaw to get her out. We've also seen reports of storm damage in Mississippi and Louisiana. Authorities in Belgium have launched a series of raids linked to a recruiting network for ISIS. 10 people are in custody following the raids in Brussels, and computer materials and cell phones were seized as well. Now, these raids are not linked to those deadly attacks in Paris last year. Overnight, 4 American journalists have been detained in the Middle Eastern nation of Bahrain, that is. The group of accused of province false information that they were tourists. One is also suspected of taking part in an attack on local police. The arrests come on the anniversary of a 2011 uprising in the small island kingdom.
The time now, 5:37, and an ABC 17 storm track weather alert. We do have another winter weather advisory. It's been extended now to Macon County, so it includes our north and eastern half, and it is for freezing rain with some ice potentially on untreated surfaces, elevated surfaces as well, as Jordana Marie has been mentioning across that road, across bridges this morning. So keep that in mind for your morning drive. You do need to take it easy, drive slower. You can see on our ABC 17 storm track Doppler radar, rainfall rates are on the light side, but it's just enough to cause a little bit of glaze of ice for areas east of Highway 54. Here's from the Herman area, where temperatures are in the low 30s. Might be seeing some freezing rain there. Also, you also might be seeing a little bit of wet snow mixed in with it. I don't expect we're going to see any accumulation as far as snowfall goes, but keep that in mind. That's going to cause more slick conditions for your morning commute. And it looks like this is going to be ending by about noon today. You can see in our ABC 17 storm track satellite and radar, there is an area of low pressure across northwestern Missouri, and it's those low pressure systems that bring us this active weather. This is the last clipper. We talk about clipper systems that bring us rain and some snow. This is the last one for a while, and it's currently across northwestern Missouri. You can see a little bit of clearing there. That's just on the backside of that, west of I-35, where there's some cooler air that moves in. So we'll look for a northwest wind by this afternoon, but right now winds are from the south, and that's why temperatures are currently in the mid-30s. Low 30s from the Mexico area to Paris to Herman. Now, even with those temperatures near 33 degrees, above 32, still means we could see some icy conditions across overpasses and bridges. So keep that in mind. If you use any bridges for your morning drive, you do want to allow extra time. Again, here's your bus stop forecast. That rain looks like it ends by about noon, 42 degrees. And then this afternoon, 45 with that northwest wind around 16 miles an hour. We could see a couple of wind gusts up to about 20 miles an hour. But take a look at this. Highs today, mid 40s, and then tomorrow near 50 degrees for Wednesday. That wind will still be out of the east northeast, anywhere from 5 to 10 miles an hour. 52 from Jefferson City. But take a look at this. Our ABC 17 storm track wind tracker shows those winds get breezy by the end of the work week. Here's 11 o'clock on Thursday morning. Sustained winds from the south around 20 miles an hour. So even though it's going to be pretty nice temperature wise, that breeze will continue Thursday and into Friday. So if you have any outdoor plans you're making, keep in mind the breeze will be picking up a bit at times. And my next forecast, it's going to be a nice weekend ahead, feeling very spring-like. I'll show you your weekend forecast in more detail at 5:47.
Still to come on ABC 17 News this morning, where the news comes first.
Parents in a town in Kansas are protesting after parents say their children were assaulted at a swim meet. Coming up, we'll tell you what the upperclassmen are accused of doing. The time right now is 5:40. Everyone, welcome back. The time right now is 5:43. New this morning, a California driver has been arrested for allegedly running down and killing a jogger. It happened in the Los Angeles area early yesterday morning when the driver's car hit the 59-year-old runner who was on a bike lane. Authorities believe the driver acted intentionally, but haven't speculated why. And just about a half an hour southwest of that incident, authorities are looking into the finding of 3 dead women in a home. A relative checking on the women found one dead in the bedroom. The others were on the floor of a detached garage, and a car was running inside. Homicide detectives are investigating, but are not ruling out something like carbon monoxide poisoning. Dozens of students and parents in a Kansas town are protesting after reports of a sexual assault on a swim meet trip. A woman says her freshman son was assaulted by 4 upperclassmen on a bus returning from the meet 2 weeks ago. The district superintendent has issued a statement saying that they are handling appropriately, but can't say more due to privacy laws. A U.S. factory is open on Cuban soil for the first time in more than half a century. Coming up next, we'll tell you what the factory will produce and who they will be selling to. The time right now is 5:44.
And we do have winter weather advisories in effect for our north and eastern half due to rain and some freezing rain. We'll have an updated look at the ABC 17 Storm Track Doppler radar. I'll show you when I expect this mix to move out this morning, and we'll jump ahead to the weekend forecast coming up at 5:47. Time now, 5:47, and an ABC 17 Storm Track weather alert. We do have light rainfall across most of Missouri this morning. There's a little bit of some freezing rain east of 63 that could cause a little bit of ice, especially across overpasses and bridges this morning. Right now we're at 37 across Columbia. That's why we're seeing this mainly fall as liquid. 41 from the Sedalia area, where winds are out of the southeast this morning. Now by about the lunchtime hour, we are going to see a wind shift. Winds will be from the northwest by this afternoon. And I am getting more reports from our storm trackers. Ron from Russellville says he is 34 degrees, light rain, and a little bit of some fog at this time as well. So take a look at our current visibilities, ranging anywhere from 3 miles in Columbia and Jefferson City, 6-mile visibility across Sedalia, and we have a 4-mile visibility across the Macon area. So take a live look at our ABC 17 Storm Track Doppler radar, where we're seeing that mainly liquid, mainly some light rainfall. We have light rainfall rates, but that across that advisory, that is now just included the Macon County area, and the National Weather Service just issued that. So you can see a little bit of this is changing over to some light snow north of Highway 36 at this time. Northern Monroe County might see a little bit of light snowfall as well. And again, it's not going to amount to much, maybe across grassy surfaces, but that advisory has been issued because of this freezing rain, where those temperatures are hovering around 33 degrees. So take a look at our future track model, breaking this down through 7 o'clock this morning. That blue that you're seeing, that indicates a little bit of light snow. Again, this is also picking up on a little bit of light snow across the Gasconade County area. I think we're going to be a little bit too warm to see a little bit of that light snow there. Keep that in mind. But again, it's going to be a slick morning commute here. Here's around 11 a.m. that light rain will start to fall apart. Again, you might see a couple of flurries mixed in with that. But here's 2 p.m. We'll look for a mostly cloudy sky. I think much of this will be east of 54 at that time. So this afternoon, we'll look at some drier air moving in, and then spring temperatures start up on Thursday. Take a look at the upcoming weekend forecast. It's shaping up to be very nice. In fact, we'll look at 65 for Saturday. I think we can go a little bit warmer for Sunday. This latest forecast models are indicating possible low 60s still for Sunday. There's a small rain chance in the morning hours on Sunday, mainly limited to the Ozarks area near I-44. So after today, a very nice dry weather pattern, very spring-like. But anyone that's maybe making plans outdoors for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I think we are going to be looking at a little bit of a breeze. So keep that in mind. Any bikers that are headed out, any motorcyclists that maybe want to head outdoors and finally get some fresh air. It looks like there is going to be that breeze. So keep that in mind for the upcoming weekend.
Missouri weather. That's all I'm going to say.
Right.
Missouri weather at its finest. Yeah. All right. Thanks so much, Brittany. And then our crew is back on the move after covering a rollover crash. A driver in that case had to be cut from his car. No word on how bad any injuries may be, but our team will keep an eye on the roads around the area, and we'll update you on any situations you need to know about before you head out the door this morning. And while parts of the eastern U.S. deal with winter weather like snow and sleet, the southwestern U.S. is recovering from spring-like severe weather. Dozens of homes have been destroyed in Florida because of a tornado, and damage has been reported in more than a dozen Mississippi counties. A California developer who wants to build a 10-story apartment complex in downtown Columbia is one step closer this morning. The city council voted 6-1 to combine the lots at the corner of Locust Street. The city staff will still, of course, need to approve building plans once they get them. The UN Secretary General says nearly 50 civilians have been killed in a missile attack at 5 medical facilities and schools in Syria. A spokesman says among the dead following an attack last week are children. He says these are, quote, blatant violations of international laws and are devastating the healthcare system. The Defense Ministry says troops have killed more than 40 ISIS militants in a province bordering Pakistan. The killings happened during a 3-day operation that ended earlier this week. Officials say 18 villages have been declared free of militants, and that area is a district where the operation of ISIS fighters go to gain a foothold in Afghanistan. This morning, 3 people are dead, including 2 officers, after a car bomb goes off at a checkpoint in Russia. 19 others were hurt in the apparent suicide attack, according to investigators. Authorities believe it was a deliberate extremist attack because the driver stopped on his own at the checkpoint. For more than a decade, the area has been seeing bombings, attacks, and kidnappings blamed on Islamic militants. The Obama administration has approved the first U.S. factory in Cuba in more than half a century. Business partners can now legally build tractors in a factory to sell to private farmers in Cuba. Cuban officials have already publicly endorsed the project. The $5 to $10 million plant is the first significant U.S. business investment on Cuban soil since Fidel Castro took power in 1959. While most of the East Coast is dealing with severe winter weather, California is dealing with something a bit different. We'll explain in just a few minutes. The time right now is 5:52. Welcome back. The time right now is 5:55, and while we continue to deal with some winter weather and the cold, some people out west are seeing a record-breaking heat wave. Yes, a heat wave. Cities all over California are getting record high temperatures, from 89 in Los Angeles to 77 in San Francisco. The heat will last through today until a cold front moves in, but things should warm back up again by the weekend. Rescue teams in Rhode Island managed to get 3 teenage boys to safety after they fell through the ice. 2 of them were in the frigid water for at least 15 minutes, but all were expected to be okay. A firefighter was also taken to the hospital after falling through the ice. At last check, the firefighter was being checked out for hypothermia. A California man is safe after getting swept into the water off the coast of San Diego. Authorities say he was standing on some rocks when the waves hit him, knocked him into the water and into a cove. Another person called 911, and lifeguards had to use a crane to get the 19-year-old to safety. And he only got minor injuries from that incident. And then take a look at this massive diamond just unearthed in the South African country. It's a 400-carat gem about the size of a credit card, and experts say it's virtually flawless. The company that found the diamond says it's entirely transparent, making it quite valuable and rare. It could be worth about $20 million. This is the 27th largest diamond ever to be recorded. Incredible.
Yeah,
beautiful.
The 4 C's or the 3 C's. It is clarity. Let me get you out the door. Time now 5:57 with the ABC 17 Storm Track weather on the 7s. We do have active weather across mid-Missouri, some light rain, and there is some freezing rain east of 50. The Herman area. We're watching for some slick roads across overpasses and bridges. There's going to be a break in this rainfall, though. Coming near Sedalia area, that rain is coming to an end. But on the back side of this, north and northern Missouri, we do have more rainfall, and that looks like it's going to continue through about lunchtime today. So watch for some slick roads. You might also see some wet snow mixing with that, but we're looking at that rain ending and then a mostly cloudy sky this afternoon with temperatures in the mid-40s, and then that spring weather starts up tomorrow. I am tracking this morning. You can download our free weather app on ABC 17 Storm Track. You can track this rain and this freezing rain moving through, but this upcoming weekend will bring big changes. So please